Alright, you guys, so we are back at it with our Atlanta tour of the Civil War. Actually, we are here in Jonesboro, which is the Confederate cemetery of the soldiers that are the Confederate soldiers that was killed in the Battle of Atlanta. As you can see, this is the cemetery of the Confederate soldiers, which was after named. The cemetery here was actually named after Patrick Claiborne, so it's actually the Patrick Claiborne Confederate Cemetery. And then, as you can see right here, it just gives you information of the Confederates as well as Patrick Claiborne, who led the attack of the Confederate forces, led the attack of the Union by the Confederacy. And then right here, it's just showing you an actual seal of the Confederate Army, the Confederate States of America, February 22nd, 1862. So that's pretty, and then you just have a whole line of soldiers that was killed during the Battle of Atlanta. That all these monuments are of the Confederate soldiers that was killed during the Battle of Atlanta. And then you just continue and you can just see this long line. So there's so many soldiers that was killed and lost their life during the Battle of Atlanta. So it's really neat to come out here and pay our respects to the soldiers that lost their life during the Battle of Atlanta, during that Atlanta campaign. Unfortunately, the battle was lost to the Confederacy and was a Union victory, but it's okay because there's a lot of other things that came about. It showed that even though we lost the battle, our Confederates put up one hell of a fight. We never just stopped. We kept fighting, we kept going, and we pushed forward. Even though we didn't win the battle, I think spiritually we gained more. Right here, this is a marker that is saying, to the honored memory of the several hundred unknown Confederate soldiers reposing within this enclosure who fell at the Battle of Jonesboro, August 31st to September 1st, 1864. And then you can see that there's some that have names on there. Like this one is a second lieutenant, Gabriel P. Parker. He was a second lieutenant. Then right there you have a private. Then you have another private. So there's several different. Like there's a private. There's a corporal, a private. So a lot of these that you are seeing that are private are young men that really didn't have any experience in war. But like I was saying before, these men wasn't just fighting to defend slavery. You know what I'm saying? The Civil War was all about the start of the Confederate States of America was not just to defend slavery and stuff like that. There was also the men that was trying to defend their homeland and defend their states and just their equal rights. And you know, the other day we were in Westview Cemetery, and it was really disappointing to go there because there was a monument that was vandalized heavily bad. I will drop that picture in this video as well so you guys can see how bad that monument was vandalized. And it really hurts me that people would go out there and vandalize these monuments not knowing the true history of each general and stuff like that. I just wish that everybody would go out there and everybody would stop these vandalizings and everything, because it's not right. You are destroying history, let alone private property. So we as Americans need to join as one nation and not to be divided. That's how the Civil War began, because two nations divided against each other. So the only way that we can make it better is to join as one nation instead of having another issue like we did back in the day. As you can see right there, there's Livingston Bond. He's another private. And so, you know, just take a picture of all these soldiers. Some of them are unknown, and then there's some that are actually been identified. You know, right in this area too, there's a railroad that comes through, a train that comes through too, right there actually. The railroad system was one of the main pieces that Sherman knew that he had to apprehend to secure the Battle of Atlanta, and he knew that the Battle of Atlanta, the main purpose of the Battle of Atlanta was to seize the railroad and take control of the railroad from the Confederacy. But as you can see, that I'm so proud that that flag is still flying, because that is not a sign of racism. That is a sign and a marker of the Confederate States of America. Let's push away the violence and the hate that came with these flags. Let's remember the fallen that came from the Civil War. You know, these are young men and farmers in these lands that was just trying to fight for their country and do something right and just basically defend their homeland, because they were trying to prevent the Union to come in and tell them what they can and what they can't do. Also, another Civil War movie that you guys gotta check out. It's a great movie. It's Gods and Generals. Wonderful movie. Comes from the same director of the movie Gettysburg. You have to check it out. One of the actors that I know that was in there is actually the same actor that is in the movie Tombstone. You have to watch these videos. It shows so much history of the Civil War and just kind of give you a background. The movie Gods in General is... Are you okay?
I got it.
Okay. With that being said, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to go and see if my daughter's okay. She actually just fell. But I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I love you guys.
What did you do? Trip over your feet? No, I just hurt my feet.